Hello and welcome to 7 Days to Die, Alpha 18. This is my welcome video as we begin to show our Dishong Tower challenge. Now, this introductory video is because the Dishong Tower challenge is a very interesting thing. You've probably seen people attempt it in Alpha 17 and Alpha 16. But some things have changed, altered, in space and in time. And this has made something very difficult. Normally, what I've done, and what you've probably seen other people do on Twitch and on YouTube, is they'll go clear the first floor, the second floor, and as they get to the third floor, this area is where they will create their garden, their first layer of soil. This is where you would plant the ground that you got from the potted plants. You would turn the potted plants into clay soil. From clay soil, you would make the dirt that you would need, and then plant fibers would grow on top of that, and then you could start actually doing the first challenge of crafting a bedroll. I have already made an attempt to do this. I wanted to see, was it still possible to do the Dishong Tower challenge in Alpha 18? And the short answer is no. Because when you get here, the new soil is not forest ground, it is topsoil or it is dirt. And these items do not grow plant fibers in Alpha 18. At least not as far as I could tell. This creates a problem because this means you cannot create some of the basic things you need in order to ascend the tower and craft the gyrocopter that is necessary to defeat Dishong Tower as a challenge. So, how then can we continue? And that's what this video is about. This is how I intend to do the challenge. So with that in mind, let's go back to the basics. So, what is the Dishong Tower challenge? Normally, when you enter, part of it is once you enter, you never leave. But the Dishong Tower is a POI, a place of interest. And places of interest, whether it's a parking lot or a burnt building, a destroyed building, they are not just the building itself, they tend to be a little bit of the zone outside of it. And so what I've done is I've created a line, a boundary to mark the edge of Dishong Tower. No longer is it going to be just inside the building. I will have the parking lot because the Dishong Tower is a complex. Of course, people are going to park in cars. The trees, though, that are here, yes, I'll be able to harvest them, but the trees that are here do not grant seeds. So I will still have to rely on the tower to grant seeds. You'll notice that most of this ground out here doesn't actually provide plant fibers. The area with plant fibers I have placed outside of this wall. This wall exists, creating a line structure all the way around the Dishong Tower. It is 1 block thick, and I have placed forged iron traps all the way around, except right here at the entrance. This way, zombies are still able to get in and challenge me and fight me, but I've kind of limited the area, controlled the space, so that way it's delineated what area I can be in, but the zombies have a clear way to enter. And one of the things I've always had as a problem in previous attempts is that zombies always tend to get trapped in these little areas right here and start damaging the tower. You don't want the tower to collapse from anything but your own efforts. So this way, for them to come to one of these side areas where this terrain would be a problem, they'd have to go through this wall, which, trust me, took quite some time to build. The only plant fibers that exist in this area are right here, next to the entrance. They give you just enough plant fibers, I hope they would give me just enough plant fibers, I should say, to create the bedroll and the plant fiber clothes I need for the challenge, but probably not much else. I'll probably have to try and find some other way to make plant fibers or gain plant fibers, but at least this way I'll have enough terrain and ground to actually work on the challenge. And I know you might say to yourself, but Phytao, if you're giving yourself this extra terrain, all this extra stuff, what's the downside? What's the penalty? Well, if I am using this area to plant ground to gain something that I can work with, then that means most people would come up here all the way up to the floor around here to create the iconic bathroom base. Where is it, in fact? Yeah, it's this floor right here is the normal traditional base floor to build. There's plenty of water in the pool. You have this convenient gantry to plant more soil to make a garden. It's fairly well lit. You have easy access to both the upper floors and the lower floors. But since you're going to be limited, or shall I say, I will be limited to the area down here as far as planting and accessing plant fibers, I'm going to have that much less of the tower for the most part if I'm having to build my base down on this first floor. I'm sure there'll be benefits to that, but I don't think they'll outweigh the detriment of that. I'm intending to prevent myself from accessing this area until I have gotten as far as this third floor. I think until I've accessed the third floor, this area may as well be as good as radiation, just to slow me down. Now, as you can see, there is one more thing to this challenge. Obviously, for the most part, you start here on this lower area, and then once you access this, this is as far as you go. The thing I'm thinking is perhaps we should, with the lack of weapons going in and with the difficulty of zombies, it might be beneficial to start with some leather wraps. Whether I'll do that or not, I'm not yet sure. But the Dishong Tower challenge now has a little more space to work with for my attempt. If you think this is unfair, you're welcome to try and make the attempt yourself on whether or not you can get through and find some alternative means. And if you do find some alternative means of making it so topsoil and dirt are able to create plant fibers so that way they can be harvested from another floor, that would be excellent. But my attempts meant that even the plant fibers I did have from this, when I tested it on that soil, would not grow. And if I can't do that, then I'm going to have to find some other way. Because the Dishong Tower challenge is meant to be difficult and hard and time consuming, but it's not meant to be impossible. And while I've given myself what seems like quite the large area to work with, I have made sure that even though the zombies have a difficulty in getting through to me, I have put no way to prevent them from seeing me. That whole second set of blocks, this whole second floor is bulletproof glass, yes, but they are able to see me. And with the whole front entrance being open, they are able to successfully get to me. I'm not saying it's easy for the zombies, but it's going to be difficult. And I figure a little bit of difficulty, considering the extra difficulty that goes on, isn't unfair. Now, that's all I've got time for now. I hope you'll catch me on Twitch. Link in the description below, so you can see me do this in real time. And you can see all of the efforts that I have to make and all the moments that are otherwise cut out for a YouTube video. But if not, I hope you catch the entire full YouTube series of the Dishong Tower Challenge, Phytao's Attempt, starting soon. Thank you very much for watching.